go to make a change. Nothing will be the same.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our day 2 for the MIT Online Lecturer Series and Student Support Services. Thank you all for joining us today. Today we have an exciting program that we're wanting to promote. Today we have 2 senior lecturers from the MIT School of Language and Community program. Today we have Vanessa Lewis and Anna Cullen join us today. Hello beautiful ladies, thank you so much for being a part of this initiative. We're happy to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, I'm Gina and I'm one of your co-hosts, and I'm also joined here by Matthew Fiesel, who will start us off with our first question.
Awesome. So Vanessa and Anna, if you can you just tell us a little bit about how long you've been teaching or working at MIT, and just a bit about your background in the field that you teach?
Okay. Well, I've been working at MIT for 21 years. I've always worked in the School of English, so I've always been teaching English as a second language.
Okay.
And probably in the last 3-4 years, I've been looking after all our community classes.
Right.
Anna?
Malo lele. Ko kuingoa ko Anna Cullen. My name is Anna Cullen. Ko ta'wen e wangahuluma tolu e ngau I apia ko MIT. I have worked at MIT for 23 years now. Ko whatongia ko whaia ko ke Ingilisi, pea mo literacy and numeracy. My background is within teaching English, literacy and numeracy to adult learners.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much for your introduction. Wow, you both have been here for a very long time.
We have.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. So thank you so much for all the service that you have provided to MIT over the years. You must seen so many people come and go, particularly in your department as well. So thank you for that. We're going to go straight into a bit about the programs that you teach. So I know that you both teach the same program, but one of you do the offsite and one of you do the onsite campus. So tell us a little bit about that, but also the program levels, where the program is located, if there's an opportunity for online learning for your particular programs that you teach, and also if there are any entry requirements.
Okay, so I look after the community classes, and we have those all over Auckland. We've got them in Manurewa, Takanini, Howick, Highland Park, Pakuranga, Green Lane, Mount Roskill, Balmoral.
Okay.
And the entry criteria for those community English language classes are that you must be a New Zealand citizen or have permanent residency. That's the only criteria.
Okay.
So, yeah, and we're always growing. And some of those community groups are ethnicity specific. For example, we have 2 classes that are Indian. That's just something that evolved. We didn't purposely look for that, but that's just how, So, and the most of the others are quite different mixed ethnicities.
Awesome. That's cool. Anna, did you have anything you wanted to add on to that?
Well, as you know, I'm teaching on the same programs as Vanessa, except the difference is that I'm teaching the classes at MIT.
Right.
With our targeted ESOL learners, it's the level, it's a beginner's level. And the majority of the students or the learners are migrants, and they are migrants and refugees.
Okay.
And for the literacy and numeracy for employment, that's another programs. Most of the learners are Pacific Islanders. Pacific Islanders, and the criteria is exactly the same as Vanessa's programs. Because it's a top courses, there is no qualification needed, and so when they come onto the programs, we sort of give them assessment, and we know where they are at, you know.
Yeah.
And that's where we go from, and we paste in NQ block, North Campus at MIT.
Could I just add to that? So our classes in the community are level 1.
Okay.
And part of our criteria for our funding for our classes is that all the students, as Anna said, need to be pre and post assessed on the TEC assessment tool.
Right.
So that is that's part of the criteria. It also helps us to know that what their level is and also if there is progress. Yeah.
And also where the targeted ESOL learners, as we said, they are mainly migrants and refugees. Whereas the literacy and numeracy programs, we targeted a lot of Pacific Islanders, even some refugees, providing that they already know a little bit about English, if you know what I mean. Whereas the migrants are level 1, like Vanessa said, they're beginners.
Brand new to it. Awesome. Thank you so much for that as well.
That's really awesome to hear, especially that, you know, we're not just offering it on campus, but we're going into the community and making it accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
The next question is just seeing when these students come in, what does a day in the classroom look like? So what's the content of the program? How big are the class sizes? And what's the atmosphere? What can a student expect when they come into a class?
Well, I probably can speak on behalf of both of Anna and I that regarding our own teaching style, where our classes will be very lively and noisy and lots of laughter. And the community classes, they are twice a week for 3 hours a week. So the students have 6 hours of learning. And basically, we talk to the learners and ask them what is it they're wanting to do? What are they wanting to learn? Is it to be able to talk to their neighbour? Is it to be able to talk to the school teacher? Is it they want to improve their English to get better employment? So we feed from our learners and listen to what they are wanting as a group, and that's what we teach in a fun way.
Can already feel the fun vibes from you both as well, so I can kind of see what your classroom would look like. I might need to come and join in one day.
Yep, sure.
And just to add on to that, and when these people, you know, the great thing about it is these people are almost vulnerable when they come into New Zealand, and they have English is a barrier. And then people like us lecturers, when like for Pacific Islanders or even, you know, the refugees, they see us, they see these people, you know, who are friendly. We're not saying that other lecturers are not. We're very friendly, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. And they also, it becomes, particularly in the community classes, and I'm probably the same on site, but it becomes their own little community. They're like a little family, you know, and you can see sharing of plants and food, and, you know, they're helping each other. Sometimes they go and do things at the weekend together. So it you know, if they have, a lot of the ones that I work with are Chinese, and you know, when they're new to the country, it's actually quite good because you've got the support network within the classroom. So that's a really good vibe to have, you know, we have in our classes too. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you, ladies, for that. So if there was someone that was wanting to, I guess, apply for the program, is there an opportunity to apply for that program online? Or would you recommend that they come into campus or see you, for example, Vanessa, in the community class?
Okay, so with our classes in the community, I promote them. I do, you know, take flyers around. I do lots of networking. And a lot of our classes, students, word and mouth, and we're in prominent places where we can be seen, and, you know, people are interested in what's going on. So most of our students we get from that way, word of mouth mostly. but we do get some leads online, but mostly it's from friends and being seen in the community.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Awesome. So you touched a little bit about it before, about how students can be a little bit nervous coming in. When they are coming in, what sort of traits should they be coming along with? What sort of attitude would you recommend them bring to the classroom?
Well, they're mostly adults, so they behave like adults most of the time. Just that they're willing to learn, and we do lots of pair work and group work, and so that they participate in that. And sometimes they're not very familiar with that kind of learning, especially from China. If they're from China, they're used to serious teachers that teachers that don't necessarily have much of a sense of humor, and so that probably takes a while for them to get used to, just like the pair work and the group work.
Yeah.
So but once they're there, they stay a long time. So yeah.
And to add on to that, this is when it's important, the lecturers, students, connections, because of the nature of the programs and the nature of the ethnic groups. It's a must that we must welcome them in a way that they feel very, very comfortable. In the classroom and in the communities, and so that we can get on together and we help to build their confidence, because that's a first priority, is once they're confident, because remember, they are, they're learning the language at this time, and to be exposed to this world of the Western world.
And sometimes they're quite competent in English, and actually it is just the confidence that's holding them back. So once you've established that and created, an environment where they're comfortable in speaking and, expressing what they can, and in an environment where everybody's in the same sort of situation, you can see their confidence just grows, and that's really what gets them further on to whatever their goals are.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for that. So do the students get to do any, projects during their time with you ladies?
Not really. They might be, if we're doing a topic we're community, we're trying to integrate the people in the community. So for example, we might do shopping, and I might give them some homework that they've got to go and find out how much a kilo of this is. So they practice that. So that, if you could call that a project, that's something like that. That's the kind of thing. Yeah,
something fun to do outside of the class, I guess.
With the literacy and numeracy, they usually sort of do a cultural PowerPoint.
Cool.
Their culture. So that's their project to do, about their culture. Or they do a PowerPoint on workplaces, where they look at the future of going into work, and the things that they need, how to get a job, and they sort of use that as their project.
Yeah, that's cool. And I guess it's just to help them see what the real life, I guess, would be after they leave your classroom. That's beautiful. Thank you for that.
Yeah. And we might do things like actually take them to the supermarket and things like that, in the community, because that's the beauty of being out in the community. We don't really have the technology, just our smartphones, but we don't really do anything with computers as such.
That's really, really cool to hear. I know this might be a hard one, because I'm sure you'll have a whole lot of stories in regards to your students, but without saying any names, are you able just to talk about one of the success stories that come to mind when you're thinking about your class?
Okay. Well, we had a student that was learning with us probably for about 2 years, and I often just go and visit the classes. I wasn't teaching him, and they often share their stories with me. And he was so happy because he had got a job as a chef in a Kiwi style restaurant, and he was telling me that he can do lamb shanks and he does it really well. And what blew me away was I asked him, so what was your job when you were in India? And when he was in India, he was an accountant.
Wow.
Oh.
So he'd never done cooking, chef work. So, and now I think he's actually, he used to study and have his job, and now he's completely gone to his job. So he's obviously doing very well. So, that really blew me away. And just not another story, but just while I remember, our oldest student that we have that comes every week to our classes, he is 91.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And he's so thankful to come to our classes, and he engages, and so that is a good example of you're never too old to learn, and that's so true.
Definitely.
Okay, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
Anna, did you have anyone you wanted to share about?
Oh, like Matthew said, there are so many stories.
Yeah.
But, and Vanessa has already touched a lot of the same, very similar stories to my students anyway. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So we're pretty much up to our last question now, but I did want to ask a question for you both ladies. What do you love most about the program? I know we've talked about the student life in a classroom. We've talked about the many students that have come through your doors, but what do you particularly love about the program?
I love the learning about different cultures. I love that it's so flexible, that it's not structured as such, in the sense that the students lead the way in what they're going to learn, and so it's student centered, around them. I love all the delicious types of food. I'm being honest.
I'm definitely coming.
Shared lunch. I'll let you know when it's shared lunch time. And I've been teaching Chinese probably for 25 years, and I'm always learning something new, whether it's a place in China or something about their culture, and that's what I love. And just seeing their confidence grow, that's the biggest thing. Whether it's just that they're now starting to talk in English, or they've gone and got a job, and so it's a very rewarding job. It gives such job satisfaction. That's what I love.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And just, you have touched most of it, Vanessa. For me, it's the journey. And Vanessa and I have taught on the same program for 21, 23 years. Why? Now you can understand now why for that long we haven't. We have been on the same program. So to me, I see the program with the journey of lecturers and the program and the students. It started off, like these people, this is from the grassroots, these people who came into our country with all these barriers of language, learning, exposed to the Western world, we help them. It's very rewarding to help them. Success to us, we see it differently than how mainstream students would see success. To us, it's like what Vanessa is saying, to see someone able to pronounce a word, to say a word, to be able to have the confidence, it's success to us. And then from there, they can move on to level 1, level 2, or they can move on into a job. That's to help their family. That is success to us. That is the journey that they have been through with us. And for us to work with these programs for 21, 20 years, it tells you something.
Yeah, definitely. That's beautiful. Thank you so much, ladies. I'll give the last question over to Matt.
So just in your own words, and I think you've touched quite a lot on this during and given lots of reasons, but why would you choose your program at MIT?
I would choose our program for our kind of learners in the community, because they can study for a long time. So our program is 36 weeks. If they enroll in February, we have lots of options in levels. In some of our community classes, there are different levels of classes. So students, if they're finding some class difficult, then they can change to an easier class. The fact that where they live, so we try to get our venue maybe near a bus stop or, in an area where it's quite built up.
Okay.
And we have our classes beginning at 9:30, so that those people that do have community cards or gold cards, they can get free transport.
Yeah.
So, and we have absolutely wonderful teachers, and a lot of our teachers have been at MIT for a long time, although they're not actually, they're based at Otara, but they have been, some of them as long as me almost. So, and when we listen to what our students' needs are.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's wonderful. Thank you. How about you, Anna? Did you want to add on to anything? Why would someone choose, your program at MIT?
At MIT, wow, you only need to look at the length of years that we've worked at MIT.
Yeah.
And because of the successful of the programs and the way we see it, and because we are passionate and we have love, we love the students, we work together, and with the community, we all work together and we all come together.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, ladies. That pretty much brings our little chat with you to an end. On behalf of the schools and community team, thank you both for being a part of this initiative. We are very grateful and thankful for your passion and your love for the students that have come your way. So if you enjoyed this little live session that we've had, feel free to say hi to us in the comments, or furthermore, if you want to know more about their particular programs, please head over to our website. That's www.manukau.ac.nz. If you'd like to get in contact with Matthew and I personally, feel free to hit us up on what's our email again? experience@manukau.ac.nz. Again, thank you, ladies, for your time. Take care, and we hope to meet you in person.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
MIT, where the best makers are made.